Okay, good afternoon, all of you. Basically, you all know what you're here for today. It's just with respect to the incorrect information on the Fair Reporting of Credit Act. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is inaccurate information being circulated via the media by certain individuals with vested interests, claiming that the Fair Reporting of Credit Act will create problems in the credit sector, as credit providing institutes will no longer have a credit history of customers. This statement is totally incorrect. The information from the Data Bureau has proven to have errors and unverified information that needs to be independently scrutinized. For more than a decade, ordinary Fijians have been suffering at the hands of the only credit reporting agency in Fiji, which is the Data Bureau, which has not undertaken proper verification of the information provided to them, nor has it put in place any credible system to correct their information. Complaints from the consumers have gone unheard by the Bureau, and the Fiji First government is taking this matter head-on to find a solution for ordinary Fijians. Now more than ever, it is important to have the Fair Reporting of Credit Act in place, as many consumers affected by TC Winston especially will be seeking access to credit, and their rights in this should be upheld. The Fair Reporting of Credit Act will put in place a legislative structure that provides for transparent and accountable reporting of customer information for credit purposes. The current credit reporting structure under the Data Bureau was self-regulated and had no transparent principles, lacked accountability, and most importantly, lacked rules to protect the privacy of individuals. Furthermore, it's been noted that at times the information is incorrect, which has led to many Fijians not being able to access finances from lending institutions. Now, it is worth noting that the Data Bureau, in a letter to the Honourable Attorney General, has welcomed the Fair Reporting of Credit Act, and several users have highlighted that the explicit consent of the customers is missing. When consent is obtained, it is done in a non-transparent manner, and customers are not informed of the implications of allowing the information to be uploaded onto the Data Bureau. The Consumer Council of Fiji has received a large number of complaints with respect to the systemic-related complaints from customers, and these included not being aware of consent being given to credit providers in terms of the information being provided to the Data Bureau, and this was mainly because the consent to allow credit information to be published on the Data Bureau is being bundled up with other requirements that need customers to provide consent on. Furthermore, an additional 47 odd complaints were registered with the Consumer Council of Fiji regarding the direct conduct of Data Bureau, and all these complaints have been referred to the Data Bureau. The concerns raised are varied and include listing of names without consumers' knowledge, listing despite the clearance of debts, unfairly penalizing customers, and listing without consent, listing despite non-payment for damaged goods, and wrongful listing. In this regard, Data Bureau has been invited by the Consumer Council of Fiji for consultations on numerous occasions, such as the World Consumer Rights Day and seminar on hire purchase agreements, but these invitations were declined by the Data Bureau. There have been concerns raised with regards to the lack of consultation on the Fair Reporting of Credit Act. However, there was no consultation with the general public at the inception of Data Bureau. The shareholders of Data Bureau needed to consult the general public more than relying on their own advisors. Furthermore, the customers do not have a recourse to an independent body that will address their complaints. The current practice of the Data Bureau is that all the complaints are referred to the general manager of the Data Bureau. And if the customers were still unhappy, the complaints are referred to a complaint committee comprising of a chair, who was the general manager, and 2 paid members, making them basically judge, jury, and executioner. Now, this does not offer an independent mechanism to resolve customer disputes, and it was a clear conflict of interest on the part of the Data Bureau, as the complaints were against the Data Bureau itself, and they, through the General Manager, were an integral part of the complaints handling process. The only form of recourse that was available was through the Fijian court system. But obviously it's expensive and it's drawn out for the ordinary Fijian. It is more concerning also that the shareholders of the Data Bureau are also owners or shareholders of banks and financial institutions in Fiji. Where is the independence of the credit reporting agency? And some of these shareholders include Tower Insurance Fiji Limited Credit Corporation, BSP Life, Colonial Fiji Life, National Insurance Company Limited, Holdings Limited. It is very interesting also that the members of the Data Bureau claim that the concept was modeled on a credit reporter's concept of New Zealand. It is worth noting that the New Zealand credit reporters are bound by law, such as a mandatory credit reporting privacy code and other reporting requirements. In Fiji, if incorrect information was published, a citizen could only sue the Data Bureau for any loss of reputation, which for Fijians is a difficult process to undertake. Interestingly, the model, this is a New Zealand one, that the Data Bureau was supposedly following, allowed the customers the opportunity to report the incorrect information to the consumer reporter. And it is mandatory that the credit reporter corrects the information within 20 days. However, this level of fairness was not accorded to Fijian consumers who needed credit. Fijians need to understand that the introduction of the Fair Reporting of Credit Act allows for credit reporting agencies to be formed, provided that they meet the criteria set out in the Act and its regulations. The Act is not stopping credit reporting, but regulates credit reporting so that it is done in a transparent manner. Now, what's wrong in starting on a clean slate? What's wrong in giving the ordinary Fijian a chance, justice and fair play? What's wrong in having regulated fair crediting of credit business? If interest rates, as they claim, will go up because of a regulated Data Bureau or because of handing over of information of the Data Bureau, can they tell us if interest rates went down when the Data Bureau had been started? Obviously, it didn't go down. It went because of other factors. I think, ladies and gentlemen, also, rather than moaning about it, they should get on with it. Are they frightened that if it is well regulated, that it will allow more professional operators to come into the market from Australia and New Zealand? Thank you.